I'm here with Frank, Arsenal 2, PSV 2. I think we sneaked through in the end, yeah?
Yeah, just about. We just about got there. I'm still full of energy. I think I'm still full of adrenaline from watching the penalty shootout between the two Madrid clubs. But yeah, we're through. Obviously.
Yeah, we'll talk about Madrid in a minute, but let's first talk about the game. That's what we're here for. What do you think? I thought as a spectacle, it wasn't as bad as some people were suggesting it might be.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, it wasn't a dead rubber, but it was a step down or a step above that. Sorry, grade above
I understand what you mean. It was quite an entertaining watch in the sense that there was goals, there was moments, but from an Arsenal point of view, I didn't expect fireworks today. No. We was already 7-1 in aggregate. I expected us to play some of the under-18s in this game, in all honesty. Ismail Kabir, obviously, I know he's not an under-18, but Nathan Butler-Oyedeji. I expected to see some of those names in there. So I really wasn't going into this game.
He did make 7 changes.
He did make 7 changes. And some of the changes that he made, were what made the game interesting for me. Because obviously you've got the likes of Zinchenko in midfield, which a lot of fans have been asking for quite a while. So I think in that sense, it was definitely a good opportunity to experiment on stuff like this, because it would have taken something catastrophic for us not to go through today. Tierney starting out on the left wing. Obviously, it's clear he's going to be going back to Celtic next season. So I think they're just trying to get any last use out of him. I don't think he had a terrible game today. Didn't do anything outstanding, but he had a decent performance. The thing that did annoy me a little bit is obviously seeing the likes of Declan Rice starting the game, the likes of Gabriel starting the game.
But you had to put some first team.
I get what you mean, but
you couldn't play 11 subs.
I get what you mean, but if Declan Rice goes and gets injured today, what are we saying as fans? You know what I mean? I don't want to say it's a nothing game, because at the end of the day, it's still a Champions League round of 16 tie. But I think, considering the game was done and dusted by, I say the game was done and dusted by half time, it was done and dusted in the first leg. We were still in a good position come half time. Why couldn't we have taken Declan Rice and Gabriel off at half time? They've got minutes in. There's players that need minutes going in the build up to the quarterfinals. Obviously this weekend against Chelsea as well. So that was a bit annoying in that sense. But at the same time, I think PSV deserve a lot of credit. I think they put in a decent performance today. Both of their goals was superb. Obviously, as annoying as the first one was, being Ivan Perisic, a former Spurs player, decent finish, and that second goal, wow. What a chip, I couldn't help but feel sorry for David Raya for the second one, because there's not really much you can do about either of those. So I think, PSV deserve credit in that sense. PSV's fans today, unbelievable. And obviously I'll give fans credit where I can give fans credit, despite...
And credit to the club PSV as well, because apparently the club picked up the tab in terms of the fans for their travel and the tickets. Yeah,
when you get embarrassed like that, that's a minimum. I just wish Arsenal would do the same, I can't imagine.
Do you think Arsenal would have done the same?
Absolutely not.
Nor do I.
No, but look, all that matters, we didn't win today, I get that, but we are through. And we've got bigger things to think about now, Laurie. Absolutely.
Just going back to the team today, a couple of players who are not first teamers came into the side today. How do you think they did? Let's start with Zinchenko, who scored that brilliant goal to start with.
Zinchenko played really well. And I think obviously that's a position that he takes up for the Ukraine national team. It's not a position that he's unfamiliar with. I'm even confident. I'm quite sure he played there sometimes when he was on loan at PSV. It's a position that, again, I said it just a second ago, a lot of fans wanted to see him in that position, and given that I personally think that he's not the best of defenders anymore, maybe there is this opportunity for us to maybe look away from the left back position for Zinchenko. If we're going to be looking at getting rid of the likes of a Jorginho, getting rid of the likes of a Thomas Partey, maybe bringing Zinchenko into the midfield full time, not to start, because I don't think he's of that level, and I definitely think we should be doing better than Zinchenko in the midfield as a title challenging team, but bring him into the rotation, bring him in as a squad player in that midfield position, full stop.
Raheem Sterling,
I gave him man of the match. I know you're one of his biggest fans. He's sort of taken over from Eddie Nketiah in your eyes, but
no, listen. I think you guys all know why I like Raheem Sterling, of course, and but I'm not going to go into it now. But listen, I thought he had a good game.
No, absolutely, and nothing sums that up like 2 assists. Obviously, I think he was.
Was he your man of the match?
Yeah, no, he was my man of the match. But that's not to say it's a weird one, because I don't want to say he didn't play good enough, because obviously he got 2 assists. The second one especially was a great build-up to the assist as well, getting the ball under control, taking on 2 players, putting in an excellent cross to Declan Rice. Raheem Sterling was good for me today. He wasn't great, but I think he gets man of the match because, I don't think anyone was necessarily outstanding today. I think Raheem Sterling was probably the best of a lot of 6 out of 7.
I thought he was the best of the outfield players. I thought
100%.
David Raya had a good game. So if you were going to ask me who was man of the match, it would have been between them two. The fact that he got the 2 assists, I'm shading it to him.
No, I'd agree with you, 100%. But David Raya, full credit to him as well. I think there was about 4 or 5 decent saves in that game as well. And again, I really don't think there's much he could have done about the 2 goals. So I don't think we can give him any sort of fault for those either.
Jakub Kiwior at the back, he's not seen much football. He came in today.
I'm hoping that today was a few lasts, in that sense that I really do hope that this is the last we're seeing of Jakub Kiwior. I just don't think he's up to standards, unfortunately. I think at the time it seemed like a sensible signing, a squad player for not too much. But I think today, sums it up completely. No pressure on him. I think the only couple good performances he's had this season have been against Bolton and Preston. And if that's his level, then I don't think he should be anywhere near the Arsenal team. So I was a little bit disappointed with him in that sense.
Okay. And Kieran Tierney we spoke about. So those were the guys that have been on the periphery of the team looking for minutes. There were other guys who played who don't always start, the likes of your Jorginhos, people like that. But overall, I thought it was a decent performance. Nothing to get you out your seat. I thought it was a decent spectacle. But the important news coming out of tonight is that we've now got Real Madrid. We watched we watched the extra time in the studio. We watched the penalties. Real Madrid through a little bit of controversy. Well, for me, it's not controversial.
No, it's the rules.
But yeah, exactly. Some people seem to be suggesting that Real Madrid got fortunate. But when the ball gets kicked against the other leg, it's what they call it a double hit, then that is not classed as, it's classed as a miss. So yeah, Real Madrid go through. Now, how happy or not are you that we've got Real Madrid in the last 8?
Bit of both. Happy in the sense that, it's... A lot of people have said it. It's a dream tie in a way. We get to see the likes of Kylian Mbappe at the Emirates. We get to see the likes of, obviously, most people despise him because of his Spurs days, but you've still got a Ballon d'Or winner in Luka Modric in that team, the likes of Jude Bellingham. All fantastic players that are coming to the Emirates. Vinicius Jr., another potential Ballon d'Or winner. And that's a whole other conversation. But I'm happy about it in the sense that we get to be on the same stage as a Real Madrid. Where I'm not happy is it's quite literally worst case scenario for us. We've been drawn against not just Europe, we've been drawn against the best team in the world for me at the moment. So it's definitely going to be a challenge. Whether we can live up to that challenge or not, we'll find out in April.
How confident are you?
We've done it before. That's the way I'll look at it. We've done it before, and obviously I know got people laughing behind the camera, I know,
no, but you're right. In 2006,
I know it was 19 years ago. I completely understand that. But even at the time then, it looked like at the time we was going into a game where no English team had ever beaten them at the Bernabeu. We did that. And obviously we finished it off at the Emirates. Sorry, not the Emirates, Highbury even back then. And went through when no one expected us to. We're in a similar situation in the sense that...
There's one crucial difference, though.
Yeah.
We had Henry back in those days.
Of course, I understand it. But my point is we're in the same scenario in the sense that no one expects us to go through here. So maybe we can potentially use that to our advantage in the sense that, I don't want to say nothing to lose, but, no one has any real expectations for us in this next round. So maybe we can, provide a few surprises, to say the least. And I want to see the spirit of Thierry Henry, at least in this performance. I want to see like a special edition yellow kit that we wear for this game to symbolise the game that we had at the Bernabeu that night, or something like that. Because,
or maybe we can do what an Atletico did. They didn't quite get it across the line, but I mean, they kept Real Madrid to zips. We've got a very good defence, arguably as good as Atletico's.
Absolutely.
And we can keep them to zip in one of the games. You never know.
And look, obviously, my understanding is we're playing them at home first, right?
Yes.
So I think we need to get the business done. If we're going to do anything, we need to get the business done at the Emirates, because at the Bernabeu, that is a whole different beast. If we can be on the front foot at the Emirates, try and get as many opportunities as possible, we will eventually take them. Obviously, I think we're looking at a much better front three for this Madrid game. I think the reports are that Bukayo Saka should be available for the game. I think in terms of the front three, you're looking at maybe an Ethan Nwaneri on the left-hand side. Up top, I know we're playing a centre mid up top in Mikel Merino at the moment. But for me, if you're looking at finishers, I think you're either looking at Gabriel Martinelli or Leandro Trossard going down the middle just to provide the most clinical, be the most clinical in terms of finishing for the team.
Okay, Frank, thank you very much. Cheers.